The Battle of Greece and Crete. Firstly, I will be speaking about the context of the battle. Secondly, strategies and tactics used. And thirdly, the overall outcome and impact of the battle. Greece's involvement. The beginning of Greece's involvement in World War II commenced on the 28th of October 1940, when Italy invaded Greece. Due to the unexpected power held within Greece's troops, Italy was driven back to Albania, and Germany was sent to assist its ally. In March 1941, Australian troops were sent to Greece under the instruction of Prime Minister Robert Menzies. Although there was a sense of uncertainty in sending forth the troops, Menzies and Lieutenant General Sir Thomas Blamey both felt that Greece was in great need of their support. Once the armed forces reached Greece, they fought alongside the British and New Zealand in order to resist German invasion. The campaign proved disastrous and was short-lived, lasting a mere 24 days. 6th of April 1941. German forces had attacked and outnumbered their enemies, leaving them exposed and unable to resist invasion due to lack of aircraft and armory. The chances of Greece overcoming this foreign sovereignty were bleak, and the country could do little except slow the damage and provide some local resistance. 50,000 Allied troops were evacuated from the battlefield over the course of 5 nights on the 24th of April. These men were instructed to make their way back to Allies either in Crete or North Africa, while hundreds of others were stopped mid-flight. Crete's involvement. Because of Crete's placement in the center of the Mediterranean, the large island was an important asset throughout the war. In November 1940, Britain set up a garrison, also known as a fortress, on the island. However, no troops were dispatched from this location, as the focus was centered on operations in North Africa. This meant that forces, both local and allied, were left poorly equipped and had difficulty defending the island on their own. Strategies and tactics used during the battle. October 1940. Allied troops from Australia, New Zealand and the United Kingdom were sent in to assist Greece against the Italian invasion. May 20th, 1941. Approximately 10,000 German airborne troops aimed to take control of 3 airfields, as this allowed large numbers of reinforcements and supplies to come in while opposition was evacuated out of the area. The next 3 hours after the landings were taken up by heavy bombing that wiped out most of the anti-aircraft machinery, resulting in a loss of German machinery and men. Vessels were issued to penetrate the waters, and the first German convoy was ultimately forced back. May 21st. Axis planes scored several hits on British ships at 2300 hours. The British ships intercepted the Axis convoy and sank several ships at Cape Sparha. Any opposing troops that failed to execute with the rest and were not held as prisoners of war were made to assist German troops in survival by providing food and additional places to hide. The overall impact and outcome of the war. Soldiers left behind, approximately 6,500, formally surrendered to the Germans on the 1st of June. The Germans had approximately 230,000 men and lost only around 5,500. The war marked Greece's initial involvement in World War II. Greece, the United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand combined had 4,123 people dead and 17,479 captured. Germany and Italy combined had 1,915 dead, 1,759 missing, and 2,000 wounded. Because of the large number of casualties, it led Adolf Hitler to believe that airborne attacks were no longer as effective as he once thought, and therefore became reluctant to permit airborne operations. Although the courage of Australian armed forces was praised by the local newspapers, the withdrawal from the battle resulted in immense damage to Australia's troops, as many were held as prisoners of war in German camps, only returning once the war had finished.